Welcome on back, everybody, to some more Metal Gear Solid. We just left off with inputting our first PAL key, and now we are on our way to freezing the key and we'll be entering the second key. But we're gonna have a lot of coded cutscenes in between then and now. Really? There we go. Man. Terrible aim. Last time I was talking a little bit about Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta's gameplay footage that we got and how beautiful it looked, and yeah, touch on that a little bit more because I kind of briefly talked about it. It looks beautiful in my opinion. I think it looks great. It's done a very faithful remaster and reiteration of a game that's already been made, especially with the way they did a lot of the trailer shot for shot, especially when you were in what is that? Rosvet, where you meet Sokolov. It looks really, really good. You know, especially that close-up on Snake's face and how he has the level of detail down to, you know, him having cuts on his face and damaged clothes, you know, from going through the jungle. It looks really, really good. And I'm very excited to play it, but I'm also very skeptical about it. You know, as we all know, Konami kind of has a history of kind of letting their fans down, and you know, especially doing the Metal Gear Solid franchise pretty dirty. So, I'm being very cautious about the game and when it comes out, what it's gonna be like. You know, I'm skeptical, to say the least. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be very open-minded to it, and regardless, I will be playing it on this channel, and I will be giving my review about that game. Absolutely, because as far as Metal Gear Solid games and the stories that they tell, Metal Gear Solid 1 is by far the #1 for me. Even though the gameplay is old and clunky and the graphics are absolutely terrible by today's standards, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think the voice acting in it is bar none as far as the other Metal Gear Solid games may go. Metal Gear Solid 4 was great for voice acting. I thought David Hayter did a much better job in that one than he did in 3, purely because he had to sound older and change his voice a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. But as far as story goes, Metal Gear Solid 3 is definitely my second favorite in the franchise. But as far as gameplay wise, and if I were to pick a Metal Gear Solid game that has the highest replay value besides Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, which have very modern day gameplay and graphics, I would definitely say that Metal Gear Solid 3 is the best. Metal Gear Solid 2, it's not bad, but the story has holes. The story, I mean, you don't play as Snake, you play as Raiden. It's not that I hate Raiden, but you know, got love for my boy Snake, and so I think that ooh, look, we got a frozen car key. Let's go put this key in real quick. But anywho, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 is just one of the best ones out of the franchise. So to say that you're going to recreate that game, yeah, the fan base is going to scrutinize it heavily, and it better be faithful. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of very upset fans, and fans are already very upset by the way Metal Gear Solid has been treated, especially considering this franchise and the Master Collection Volume 1. It absolutely should have been an ace in the hole and just, you know, made Konami a ton of money. And, I mean, it did, but, you know, it didn't come without its flaws, especially a lot of its, you know, basic user functionality that you would expect it to have, especially when they're relatively just ports. Like, a lot of it shouldn't have been hard. And when I talk about like usability, from what I have experienced, there's difficulties with windowed mode in Metal Gear Solid 3 and 2, and especially the graphics, whatnot, you know, and you would think that we would at least get, you know, some form of a graphical upgrade, and, you know, we didn't even get bumped up to at least, like, 4K. Now, I'm not saying that the graphics need to be 4K, like, as far as, you know, recreated game. No, that's not what I'm saying. But we're not even getting, you know, pixel definition. It's I don't know. You can see it definitely in like the cutscenes, the haloing around certain characters and models. It's not as crisp as it could be or should be. Ah, really? Why? Really? There we go. Man, trying to get that off-screen kill. Anywho, you know, I still can't wait. I would love to play Snake Eater on modern day graphics. That would be an absolute great game to have. So, regardless, I'm so ready to see it. It looks beautiful. I don't really know how I necessarily feel about the new Snake. I mean, like, he looks like Snake, but he doesn't look like Snake, if that makes sense. And, like, even my wife was saying, she's like, if you were to ask me, is that Solid Snake, I would say yes. But we all know that doesn't really look like Solid Snake.
There goes pal,
you know, so
next comes pal number 3.
It's kind of, but it's not a bad rendition of Solid Snake. Or I shouldn't say Solid Snake. That's actually terrible of me to say. I've been saying Solid Snake this entire time. No, that's actually Naked Snake or Big Boss, whichever one you want to call him as, or refer to him as, is 100% accurate. But yeah. It doesn't necessarily look like Snake, but it does at the same time. So it's gonna take some getting used to, and I'm not opposed to it. It's not a bad Snake at all. So I'm definitely here for it. So we'll see how it goes. I really hope we get a release date announced soon. That would be very nice, but I would imagine that game is probably easy 25, early 25. I'd be shocked if it came out next year. I absolutely would, especially with the way that games are announced with so much lead time. It's absolutely absurd. So like we could not easily not see the game for another 2.5 years, and it's just like, why? I get that the game's in development and you have some stuff for us, but you don't need to release any footage 2.5 years before the game comes out. Just wait till like a year. It'll be so much better. But another game that I'm very excited for that's coming out is The Last Faith. That game, looks very cool. It's a Souls-like Castlevania, or I'm sorry, Metroidvania. I was a very big fan of the side-scroller Castlevania games growing up as a kid. Castlevania Symphony of the Night was by far my favorite and the best one, and I think most people would probably agree with me on that. Yeah, those I love those games, and I did play a couple of Metroid games, but you know they weren't really my vibe. But anywho. I also love Dark Souls. I love the Souls games. I've played every single one of them, except for Bloodborne, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. I still do need to play Bloodborne, and you know what? I might even bring that up to this channel as a Let's Play, since I've personally never really played it more than maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think I got to like maybe the second or third boss, and I stopped playing it, so... but other than that, I've played every single Souls game, and
Snake,
yeah, to play
Then you should talk to the Colonel.
Metroidvania style Soulsborne game. Oh,
Okay,
totally
it's off.
here for it.
No one else can hear us. Go ahead.
Sorry, but I didn't want the Colonel to hear.
Okay, so what's up?
I've got a good friend in the Pentagon.
Yeah?
He's the one who told me about it. It looks like the DIA recently developed a new type of assassination weapon.
An assassination weapon?
Snake, have you ever heard of something called Fox Dye?
No. Fox dye. Liquid and the others were talking about it.
Yeah, it's some kind of virus that targets specific people. I don't know all the details, but...
What are you trying to say?
it's too similar.
What is?
The cause of death. Didn't the Arms Tech president and the DARPA chief, I mean, Decoy Octopus, die of something that looked like a heart attack?
Yeah?
Well, apparently Fox Dye kills its victims by simulating a heart attack.
No. You're telling me that Naomi was behind it?
Snake, try to remember. Did Naomi give you some kind of injection?
The nanomachines.
She was in the best position to have done it, but I don't know what her motive was.
Does the Colonel know?
I'm not sure. But he still hasn't questioned her.
Okay, I'll ask him myself. Colonel, what's new with the Naomi situation?
I just placed Naomi under arrest.
Arrest?
She was sending coded messages towards the Alaskan base. I didn't want to believe it, but she must be working with the terrorists.
Are you sure?
I'm afraid so. She's being interrogated now.
What kind of interrogation?
Well, I'd like to avoid the rough stuff, but we don't even have any sodium pentothal here.
Call me if you find out anything.
So it's true, isn't it?
Naomi, I can't believe it.
That means the Fox Dye vaccine must be around somewhere.
Listen, I've got bigger things to worry about.
But Snake, you might be infected too, you know.
All I can do is leave it up to the Colonel.
Very useless decision. Man's powerless, but alright, we'll leave it up to him. Oh, hang on. Let me, I'm not really trying to win any certain achievements on this gameplay. I really don't care what code level I get, so... Don't matter. Hey, whoa, wait, whoa. How rude. I'm not even gonna waste a chaff grenade on him. On this stupid gun cam. Fuck you. I don't know though. It'll be a little bit before we were bringing another game to this channel. I mean, we've technically got 3 games lined up before we can really move on to anything else. I do have a couple of games that I will throw out that will be on the poll for the next game after the Metal Gear Solid franchise is done being played. So far, right now, without saying too much, the top contenders are Jedi Survivor as a New Game Plus playthrough, as I've already played that game, so I have a New Game Plus file that I can play, which would be fun. You know, it's not like it wouldn't majorly break the story to just not have to worry about hunting down character upgrades, but that is definitely on the table. I do have a halfway finished Castlevania Symphony of the Night playthrough that I started a little while back. I might sprinkle that in here and there, but Last Faith is, as I was talking about earlier, that is on the list as well, and so is Elden Ring once the DLC comes out. That was, oh my god, I loved Elden Ring. Played the absolute hell out of it. I platinumed that game. Not like it was the hardest Souls game to platinum, but oh my god, loved it. So when the DLC comes out, I will be doing a fresh playthrough with a brand new character. So when that comes out, that's on the agenda as well. I do have Mass Effect on the list that can be added in there. It's not a new game or anything, but definitely a franchise that I love. And hey, how is that even possible? I've been standing there for a while. Weird, but anywho, it's a franchise that I really do love, and it's a fun play, especially Mass Effect 3 in my opinion. Even though the ending is kind of doo-doo, I do love it. It's a great game, great trilogy to play. So right now, those are on the list. I don't really have any others currently at the moment. There isn't really anything coming out that's piquing my interest. I mean, I know there's a lot of really, really good games coming out here in 23, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling a lot of them, I guess. I do also have other games that I could potentially do a New Game Plus of that are just really fun games to play that would be fun to just power through and just hit all the main story points, whatnot. So, fucker. One of those could be God of War and God of War Ragnarok. Those are phenomenal games, and especially with the rumored Ragnarok DLC coming out, that could be a potential refresh. It'd be a very fun game. Big game, but absolutely amazing. One game that, or another game that I absolutely hold close to my heart. Loved it. The story was so impactful. Yep, I knew there was a codec call coming, so I just kind of waited there a second.
It's Naomi.
Naomi? What the hell?
Let's hear what she has to say.
Campbell and the others are busy right now. I'm on a different codec.
Naomi, is what the Colonel says true?
Yes, but not everything I said was a lie.
Who are you?
I don't know myself. I don't know my real name or even what my parents looked like. I bought all my identification. But my reason for getting into genetics was true.
'Cause you want to know yourself, right?
That's right. I want to know where I came from. My age, my race, anything.
Naomi.
I was found in Rhodesia sometime in the 80s. A dirty little orphan.
Rhodesia? What's now known as Zimbabwe?
Yes. Rhodesia was owned by England until 1965, and there were lots of Indian laborers around. That's probably where I got my skin color from, but I'm not even sure about that.
Naomi, you're too worried about the past. Isn't it enough to understand who you are now?
Understand who I am now? Why should I? No one else tries to understand me. I was alone for so long, until I met my big brother. And him.
Your big brother?
Yes. Frank Yeager.
What?
He was a young soldier when he picked me up near the Zambezi River. I was half dead from starvation, and he shared his rations with me. Yes, Frank Yeager. The man who you destroyed was my brother and my only family.
No. Gray Fox?
We survived that hell together, Frank and I. He protected me. He's my one connection. The only connection I have to my past.
And he brought you back to America?
No. I was in Mozambique when he came.
Who is he? You mean Big Boss?
Yes. He brought us to this land of freedom, this America. And then he and my brother went back to Africa to continue the war. And that's when it happened. You killed my benefactor and sent my brother home a cripple. I vowed revenge and joined Foxhound. I knew it was my best chance to meet you, and I prayed for the day that I would.
So, were your prayers answered?
Yes. I waited 2 long years.
To kill me? Is that all you cared about?
Yes. That's right. 2 years. You were all I thought about for 2 long years. Like some kind of twisted obsession.
Do you still hate me?
Not exactly. I was partly wrong about you.
What about Liquid and the others?
I'll have my revenge on them too.
Naomi, you didn't kill that doctor too, did you? The one that used Gray Fox for his genome experiments?
Dr. Clark? No. That was my brother. Afterwards, I covered it up and helped him hide out.
So that ninja, I mean Gray Fox, he's come here to kill me?
I don't think so. I think he just came here to fight you. I wasn't sure before, but now I think I understand. A final battle with you. That's all he lives for. I'm sure of it.
Fox? No. Naomi, tell me something.
About Fox Die? Fox Die is a type of retrovirus that targets and kills only specific people. First, it infects the macrophages in the victim's body. Fox Die contains smart enzymes created through protein engineering. They're programmed to respond to specific genetic patterns in the cells.
Those enzymes recognize the target's DNA?
Right. They respond by becoming active and using the macrophages. They begin creating TNF-epsilon.
Huh?
It's a type of cytokine, a peptide which causes cells to die. The TNF-epsilon is carried along the bloodstream to the heart, where they attach to the TNF receptors in the heart cells.
And then they cause a heart attack?
The heart cells suffer a shock and undergo an extreme apoptosis. Then, the victim dies.
Apoptosis? You mean the heart cells commit suicide? Naomi,
What?
you must have programmed that thing to kill me too, right? Do I still have time? Naomi, I don't blame you for wanting me dead, but I can't go yet. I still have a job to do.
Listen, Snake. I'm not the one who made the decision to use Fox Die.
Huh? You weren't?
No. You were injected with Fox Die as a part of this operation. I just wanted to let you know that. No, that's not the whole truth.
Huh?
The real thing I wanted to tell you was... Snake,
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, Hey, what are you doing? What you doing, man? What you doing?
Naomi!
Snake, I can't allow Naomi to make any more unauthorized transmissions.
What?
Naomi's been removed from this operation.
What happened to Naomi? What did she mean when she said that Fox Die was a part of this operation? Colonel, let me talk to her.
I won't. She's under arrest.
Colonel, you double-crossed me.
Snake, there's no time for that. Right now, your job is to stop Metal Gear. Okay, Snake?
Fuck you. No one likes you, Colonel Campbell. At least not right now. But we all know why. We all know it's because of Meryl. One really good game, though, that did come out this year that I absolutely had a fantastic time with was Liza P. Liza P was fantastic. Haven't played a unexpectedly good game out of nowhere like that in a little while. That game caught me totally off guard. Like, wow. I had a fantastic time with it. Currently, I have a file where I'm halfway through with New Game Plus. I just actually finished beating Champion Victor, and I was running at first I started with kind of a quality build, but then I just ended up favoring Dex in the end. That was a good game. Really good game. It didn't really know what it wanted to be most of the time. The parry window was so fucking tight and hard to really get down to where the game felt like it wanted to be Sekiro, but it's like you don't really have the parry window timing to really be Sekiro, but you're really close, you know. And I think what that game ultimately came down to was you needed to know when to counter them and when to hold them, and when to counter them and when to hold them, and that was the flow of it. It wasn't necessarily that you needed to full on counter every single attack, but you just needed to be able to at least hurt myself there. Nice, good job. But you needed to at least be able to make it through the attack wave, so that way you can get your attacks in and go on. But it was very linear, kind of predictable as far as like where the path was gonna go, and you could kind of figure out your general path. You never were really lost, but it was great. I would solidly recommend or rate that game probably an 8.5 out of 10. I strongly recommend if you're a Soulsborne fan. I definitely recommend you go play it. It's great game. The storytelling is pretty good in it, especially the cutscene before the King of Puppets. I won't say what it's all about for those who haven't played, but that storytelling, especially on New Game Plus, yeah, really good. So fantastic game right there. Just kind of sitting here on this menu because I don't want to drag this on too long, because after we input this PAL card, we are going to trigger a cutscene, a couple of codec calls, and we're going to get thrown directly into the boss fight with Metal Gear Rex. And now, I don't exactly plan on doing Rex right now, Rex will be for the next episode. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in this PAL card, and we're gonna get right up to the point where the pretty much essentially the fight with Rex is about to start, and that will be the end of the episode. And we'll pick it back up from there next time. But right then, but then we'll take this game home and completely finish it. So let's get this card put in and finish this out.
PAL code number 3 confirmed. PAL code entry complete. Detonation code activated.
No, why?
Ready for launch.
I deactivated it.
Thank you, Snake. Now the detonation code is completed. Nothing can stop Metal Gear now.
Master, what's going on?
You found the key, and even activated the warhead for us, too. I really must express my gratitude. Sorry to have involved you in that silly shape memory alloy business.
What are you talking about?
We weren't able to learn the DARPA chief's code. Even with Mantis' psychic powers, he couldn't read his mind. Then Ocelot accidentally killed him during the interrogation. In other words, we weren't able to launch the nuclear device, and we were all getting a little worried. Without the threat of a nuclear strike, our demands would never be met.
What do you mean?
Without the detonation codes, we had to find some other way. That's when we decided you might prove useful, Snake.
What?
First, I thought we might get the information from you, Snake, so I had Decoy Octopus disguise himself as the DARPA chief. Unfortunately, Octopus didn't survive the encounter, thanks to Fox Die.
You mean you had this plan from the beginning, just to get me to input the detonation code?
Huh? You didn't think you made it this far by yourself, did you?
Who the hell are you?
In any case, the launch preparations are complete. Once the world glimpses the power of this weapon, the White House will have no choice but to surrender the Fox Die vaccine. To me, their ace in the hole is useless now.
Ace in the hole?
The Pentagon's plan to use you was already successful in the torture room. Snake, you're the only one who doesn't know. Ah, poor fool.
Who are you anyway?
I'll tell you everything you want to know. If you come where I am, that is.
Where are you?
Very close by.
Snake, that's not Master Miller.
Campbell, you're too late.
Master Miller's body was just discovered at his home. He's been dead for at least 3 days. I didn't know because my codec link with Master was cut off. But Mei Ling said his transmission signal was coming from inside the base.
So who is it?
Snake, you've been talking to...
Me, dear brother.
Liquid. How the...
You've served your purpose. You may die now.
And now to call Otacon to bail us out.
Snake, that's bulletproof glass. You can't break it with an ordinary weapon.
Can't you open the security lock here?
I'll try. Just hold on for a minute. I hacked into security. Snake, I'm opening the door.
Alright. Let's save.
Is everything all right, Snake? Win, Snake, win!
Oh, don't you worry. We will be winning. Alright. And we will call that the end of the episode. It's been great, and we will see you all next time for some more Metal Gear Solid.